Good old Elizabeth Warren, giving credit where credit is due. Warren credits Biden win to most progressive economic platform ever. In an op-ed, Warren didn't mention a dollar figure for expected Biden tax hikes that some experts have pegged as high as $4 trillion. But nonetheless, Elizabeth Warren says, were it not for the progressives and the economic plan, Joe Biden would not have won. I'm sure Joe Biden is now saying thank you to Elizabeth Warren for, with your help and Bernie Sanders and your alliance of progressives in this country, Joe Biden has won. Everyone stand and give a standing ovation to Elizabeth Warren. I'm sure she will be duly rewarded by the Joe Biden campaign. I'm sorry, what's this? Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders to be frozen out of Biden cabinet, report says? Who could have seen that coming? Now, to be fair, I thought he'd throw him a little bit more red meat than that. But Joe Biden, you cold as ice. Sorry, Elizabeth. Sorry, Bernie. Thanks for the help. Now y'all can leave. Look, Joe Biden has plans to be progressive. Joe Biden has said, I believe someone on his campaign, they will be one of the most progressive campaigns ever, administrations, I'm sorry. And Kamala Harris is considered to be the most liberal in the Senate, in Congress. That's not really true. It's actually that Kamala Harris is less willing to compromise with Republicans. It means most of her bills have been signed with, sponsored only by the left and Democrats and not by Republicans. Doesn't mean she's far left or anything. It just means she's not going to cooperate or compromise. So that could be bad, I guess. But so that's their plan. They got a bunch of weird, wacky ideas, the framework of the Green New Deal, probably to appease the progressives to a certain degree and make it look like they're actually going to support them. But come on, did you really think that they would give Bernie a position? I wanted Donald Trump to give Tulsi and Yang positions to create some kind of coalition and try and bridge that divide. And Trump's not going to do that either, because people in this country are too invested in their tribes. Now, for Joe Biden, he is the corporate crony establishment politician. And I think there are a lot of young people. You know, I didn't really think about this. I'm 34, okay? And so I remember back in 2010 when I was 24. In 2010. In 2011, when I went to Occupy Wall Street, I was 25. So this is now 9 years ago. Long time, huh? There are people who are, in their 20s who were little kids when all this was going down. And they don't know who Joe Biden is. And they don't know anything about what Biden and Obama did and the crony banksters that were a part of their administration, or the fact that Occupy Wall Street started just before Barack Obama's second term. It was 2011, the end of the year. Barack Obama had served for 3 and now 2.5 or so. And then you got mass uprisings over financial interests, the 1%. That was during Barack Obama. And then what did we get the next year? Black Lives Matter under Barack Obama. And now, just about 9 years later, depending on which movement we're talking about, you've got these young progressive upstarts popping up on YouTube saying, I am a leftist and we should vote for Joe Biden. And I'm like, are you nuts? Oh, I didn't even realize you were 13 when all this was going down. So you don't know jack. Because guess what, my friends? Joe Biden grants waivers to lobbyists to serve on transition. Good sir. Thank you. Thank you, Joe Biden. Joe, can you give me a heads up on when you're going to go blow up kids in the Middle East again? Because that whole thing you did with Obama. Yeah, I was making videos about that. Granted, my content, my news and commentary on what they're doing back then was not as good. Most of the reporting I did was basically live streaming, unrest in various countries. But I got to experience firsthand the foreign policy of the Obama administration, which included VP Joe Biden. That included the unrest in Ukraine, the separatist movement, the ousting of their president. It included the refugee crisis, which I covered quite a bit, even went to Turkey and interviewed refugees on more than one occasion. It includes me going to Sweden and traveling around Europe, meeting with people forced to flee their countries because of the Obama administration's Middle Eastern policies and intervention in countries for which we had no business. But that's American imperialism, as the left used to describe it. We can also remember just the financial interests, the people serving on the cabinet from the major corporations, big international billion-dollar interests. Here we go, baby. It's all coming back. I got to be honest, Joe, I was worried there for a minute Thank you for bringing us all back to normal. Is that what everybody wanted? Normal? Congratulations. We're going back to normal. So you can rest assured that under a Joe Biden presidency, the rich will get richer, the poor will get poorer, and he'll be blowing up some kids. Because isn't that what the Obama administration was all about? We are the 99%. That was Obama. That was during the Obama administration. What did he do to solve that problem? Nothing. What about the war, the drone strikes, the extrajudicial assassinations? What about the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, indefinite detention provisions? What's that, progressives? You were young upstarts who helped Joe Biden win, and you didn't do any research into who this man was? Surprise, surprise, Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren are getting the boot. Joe Biden is going to be a corporate politician who is going to tell you to shove it. He'll give you nothing, and it will reignite all of the same protests we've been seeing. It's going to be really funny when these Democrats who don't have political experience, don't pay attention, who only got active now, and the younger Democrats and first-time voters who don't know what the Democrats really are, start to wake up to the fact that, guess what? Donald Trump actually wasn't that bad. Now, early on, Donald Trump made some mistakes. He hired a bunch of dumb people and trusted them. That was a huge mistake. Hiring John Bolton. I say it all the time. That guy wants to blow everybody up in the Middle East. John Bolton at one point said we were going to be celebrating in Tehran. We don't want to go to war with Iran. That's ridiculous. Okay, I say we don't, like you and me. They do. I wonder how long it'll take until we are celebrating in Tehran. Because apparently Joe Biden wants to start bringing on neoconservative consultants because he wants to bridge the divide. No, he doesn't. He wants to restore the crony establishment, the never-Trumpers who ran crying when Donald Trump kicked in the door and took over the Republican Party. And you know what? For all of Donald Trump's faults, I wasn't blind to what was happening. Donald Trump, the bull, breaking into the ivory tower and saying, enough. And he's still refusing to let go. He's still refusing to give up. Now, I think Trump has many, many faults. But you think fake smile plastic Joe Biden enriching his family off his name, using his office to gain power for himself and those around him is going to be better? Oh, by all means, criticize Donald Trump for the nepotism of bringing his kids on to his administration. All right. Yep. Oh, what's that? You're saying Donald Trump was using his private properties and having the military stay there, thus generating revenue for his businesses? Yeah, sounds like that could be a violation of the emoluments clause. Sounds like something I absolutely would criticize and literally did many times. It doesn't change the fact that Joe Biden is substantially worse. I'll be the first to admit the election was a rock and a hard place. For me, at least, I know Trump supporters were diehard like Trump's the best. And I'm like, dude, I talked to my friends about this and they're like, Trump's character is the barrier. It's true. For some people, it wasn't. I can respect that. And for some people, they love Trump's character. But that was a setback. And I can accept that. Now, Trump may have his faults in terms of who he's appointing, who he's hiring, and how his family is running his business as he's president. And sure, I think there are problems. But I spent so much time, 2 terms, Barack Obama and Joe Biden. Let me tell you, there's a reason why Barack Obama lost about 4 million or so votes from 2008 to 2012. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because I remember marching in the streets as a teenager, the Iraq War, the war in Afghanistan, no blood for oil. I remember the music videos challenging what Bush was doing, calling Bush every awful name. And I said, I do not like the idea that we seek out energy independence through entering other people's countries, other nations, and just lying about it to get in. The media lying, weapons of mass destruction. So I've always had a bias against the media, mind you. And I remember when Obama came up and he said, I'm going to bring our troops back. They shouldn't be there. We'll take them back. And I'm like, yes, sir. Finally, someone stepped up to the plate saying, we're going to put an end to this. And so I voted for him. And then what did Obama do? I think it was like January 23rd. I could be wrong. It was like right away, right after his inauguration, airstrike blows up a bunch of women and children. Hey, how about that? And I was like, what? That's one of the first things he does. Barack Obama, Joe Biden. I remember the disposition matrix. Do you remember that? The disposition matrix? Yes, that was called the kill list. When they would go up to Barack Obama with a list of people to kill. And he would be like, that one. And then they'd blow him up. I remember one time they blew up a civilian restaurant in Yemen, killing an American citizen. That was the administration in which Joe Biden was the vice president. Congratulations, progressives, for bringing the establishment back. It is what it is. I've been through this before, and we'll go through it again. Trump was far from perfect. Trump had upped drone strikes early on in his first term. Later on, after getting rid of Bolton, things started to simmer down a little bit. I think Trump made very serious mistakes. And that's why early on I kept criticizing him, saying I'd never vote for the guy. But come on, the media was lying about him nonstop. Stop making me defend him. I look at the last year of Trump's presidency. Peace agreements, troop withdrawal, and really winding down our presence. Okay. Far from perfect. But congratulations to the left. You got what you're not getting anything you want. Joe Biden's probably going to throw some red meat, so sure, fine, I get it. But in the end, nah, Bernie and Warren are going to be frozen out. They're not being let in. Sorry, it's not going to play that way. Now, the Democrats are still hoping that if they take the Senate, Bernie could get a position of power, so sure. But in the meantime, I hope you all realize that you just empowered one of the most crooked presidential candidates we've ever seen. Maybe there's still a path for Trump. And I think you'd be wise to remember it. It's not over. The media can call Joe Biden president-elect. And while I think it's likely to be the case, Trump is still in the fight until certification happens. Until the electoral vote happens. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up tomorrow at 10 a.m. Thanks for hanging out, and I will see you all then.